alongside Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, Paul George joining us here, and Bob Myers. Let's dive into this because certainly the story of the evening is that there is no Kristaps Porzingis in this pivotal Game 3. So that means the Dallas Mavericks, they need to take advantage. But if you're looking at, Paul, Kyrie Irving, who in this series has been averaging 14 points a game, or looking at Jason Tatum, who's shooting 32% but did have 12 assists last game, who needs to have a bigger outing tonight?
Absolutely Kyrie Irving. Obviously, they're down 2-0. A lot is riding on Kyrie Irving to get them to a win at home. This crowd here is infectious. As I've been here and I've played against them on multiple occasions, they're magical. And so Kyrie has to step it up. I think he'll find his rhythm early. No Porzingis is huge. And I believe, he's going to pull through. We've seen big moments of Kyrie playing in the finals and big scoring performances. So I believe Kyrie will come into form tonight.
He's got to step up because he's been awful. Averaging 14 points, 11 points less than this season average. Shoot 35% from the field, 0% from three-point range. Kyrie Irving, this Kyrie Irving we're talking about here. Zero, okay? And then you take into account Porzingis. With him on the basketball court, 27.7 points. That's what they're outscoring everybody by. Number one in an offensive rating, defensive rating, net rating, and nobody is within 10 points of him. That's the kind of impact Porzingis has had. He's going to be out. You don't have to worry about a 7'3" dude clogging the middle. That opens the floor up for the magician that is Kyrie Irving. He's been a no-show, a virtual no-show in the first two games. That cannot be the case tonight because they can't lose tonight.
The margins in these games are so thin. Which you would know better than us. The margins are so small that when you have Porzingis out and everything that Stephen A. is talking about, I mean, we talk about space offensively. There's space defensively that they won't have to worry about if you're Kyrie and you're looking at lanes. The pull-up jumper that he has been so masterful for. You don't have a 7'3" guy blocking your view on that. So it just shifts. It seems like this is a big advantage. And by the way, you guys were right on our previous segment about holding Porzingis up. I just thought about this. And Bob, when a team publicly acknowledges that the injury is serious and uses that word, that means they essentially have to hold you out, doesn't it?
It will. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You read between the lines. The team was protecting him when they said he's got a serious injury. Don't put it in the player's hands to make it look like he's not tough enough. So they took it out of his hands, which was smart. But I'm going to try to be careful with what I'm about to say. I don't know if he's going to play after this. I don't know.
Porzingis.
And I don't overreact to that public, but I think this is when you say, like you just said, serious, and it doesn't heal in 2 days.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, listen.
I don't think it does.
I picked the Mavs to win this series in 6 games for one reason and one reason only. I did not anticipate that Porzingis would be able to play but so much in this series. When I saw him in Game 1, I almost fainted because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But now that he's out, which I anticipated, this is Dallas's chance. You can't win without Porzingis. You got no shot.
But PG, you have played on teams where stars have been in and out of the lineup. You've experienced this yourself. How much do the Celtics need to adjust, and do the Mavs are going to adjust to them now that there is no Porzingis, potentially, as Bob said, even beyond this game?
Yeah, they got to adjust. And what you alluded to about Kyrie's so smart being on the floor, right? I think Porzingis, you're going to go at Porzingis just by default because you're not going to try to isolate against Drew Holiday. You're not going to try to isolate against Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. So by default, Porzingis was the guy that you're going to go at. Now he's not on the floor. That length is not there. Now Kyrie can kind of dance and wiggle and get to his stuff.
Nobody on the planet knows what it's like to play without a starter and Paul George. I'll leave it at that.
Don't do that.
Nobody knows.
Don't do that.
This is what he does.
Don't do that.
This is what
Nobody knows.
You know what? Much more of this coming up on NBA Countdown.
NBA